Hi. Given that diplomacy is so critical, I live in DC and I know that the State Department's lost a lot of talent. What's the prognosis moving forward for that to rebuild, those people that are like in their 50s that
Yeah.
had lots of time?
Well, I mean, it's going to take a lot longer to fix than it's taken to break. And to be fair, Donald Trump didn't invent the drift in American diplomacy. I mean, ever since the end of the Cold War, and especially after 9/11, it was hard to build a lot of support for resources for the State Department or for development assistance. After 9/11, it was almost natural to emphasize military and intelligence tools too. But what I think the Trump administration has done is taken that drift and accelerated it and made it a lot worse. So you have a huge number of senior vacancies in the State Department and embassies around the world today. You have, for 20 years, applications to the U.S. Foreign Service rose every year. It's dropped by 40% over the last 2 years. We made painfully slow progress over my 35 years as a professional diplomat in trying to create a foreign service that looked more like the country we represent. When I came into the Foreign Service beginning in 1982, 9 out of 10 American diplomats looked like me. They're white. Only a quarter of American diplomats were women. We made significant, if too slow, progress over the next 3 decades to create, again, a foreign service that looked more like our country, because we always get farther overseas through the power of our example than the power of our preaching. Those trend lines have been reversed too. And there's also a particularly pernicious practice in the last couple of years of going after individual career officers just because they worked on controversial issues in the last administration. That's how you gut an institution. There are a lot of good people who, as we're sitting here today, are doing hard jobs in hard places around the world. But it's hollowing out an institution and a profession at precisely the moment when it matters more, cold-bloodedly, to American interests in the world. And so one of the big challenges, I think, for whomever succeeds this administration is going to be to sort of face up to that reality and to try to not only renew diplomacy, but rebuild the State Department.